Good morning, Tigers. How we doing? All right, I don't know what that means, but I'll assume that it means we're doing well. Rajo?
Rajo.
Awesome. Well, first of all, I just want to say that I've missed y'all. I've been took a little bit of leave, and then down at Fort Knox, solving some problems and helping make the brigade and battalion better. The Cognitive Leader Forum. But every day I was gone, I missed y'all. I just let you know that. Rajo? You guys y'all miss me too? All right, awesome. Hey, so we got a full week this week. 161 is not here right now, but they're getting ready to head out to the field. Big thing for today that I need your help with is our JBCP comics. Rajo, if you deal with the JBCP, raise your hand. Well, there's the problem right there. All right, there's the problem right there. So look, every operator. If you are an operator that has a JBCP in your vehicle, you should just raise your hand. Right? That's part of your equipment. It's part of your truck. And so when we look at our stats of our JBCP, we are going to continually not meet. We're just bottom line. We're not meeting the mark. And so today is the JBCP Comics with Brigade, and it's a great way to help see ourselves on what systems are working and what systems are not working. But if we don't put in the effort, we don't really know, right? And then we can't really see ourselves. We don't know where we need help and whether our systems are working. Why is the JBCP important? Why is it important, Chalupa?
Because when we go down range, it'll help with communications.
It will help with communications. That is very true. Why? So why specifically? Because I mean, ASIP radio can do that as well. What is the difference between our JBCP and our ASIP radio?
Put your location on the battlefield for everyone to know where you're at.
Okay, that is true. All right. What else? Common operating picture. Huh? Okay, so that's true as well. Do we have another platform that can talk to other people for sure? Just like right down the road. Like if we're attached to the 82nd. Is there anything else that we have in our vehicles that'll talk to them? No, there's not. Bottom line, there's not. Right? It is our number one interoperability piece of equipment. Right? That is the piece of equipment that we have, and that platform that is across the Army, the most universal. Right? That is the most universal piece of equipment and the most likely avenue that we will be able to talk to our units to our left and our right. We hope we can get some better line of communication type equipment, but we don't have it right now. But we have JBCPs right now, and if we neglect them, our chances of deploying and just being black, not being able to talk to anyone, are very likely. Right? Does anybody want to be able to just be alone and unafraid, not having to talk to anyone? How useful do you think we are if nobody can talk to us? Not very useful, right? And JBCP is that piece of equipment that helps us span that gap until we can figure out what our next set of comms are that will provide us some more interoperability. Rajo? So it is incredibly important that today, and realistically every Monday, but we're starting today, right? That we make every attempt possible to get all of our JBCPs up and running and talking comms. Do not stop at the 3-foot wall. Right? You know what I mean by that? Like, oh, I'm having a power issue, and I just say, well, that JBCP isn't working. Find someone to help you. Find the S6 shop. Find your company comms personnel, and troubleshoot it, and try to get it working by the end of the day. Rajo? That's what I need you all to do. The Tiger 6 has talked about this already, right? Like every time we roll out, we should have our JBCPs up and running. We're sending messages and trip tickets to your company and or eventually here to hopefully to brigade staff duty. We get a JBCP in there so that way we can practice those things. But it's really just as much a forcing function for everyone to know that you've got to have that JBCP on and running, and we know that it's working. And we're not just waiting for brigade Comex to figure that out. Rajo? Okay, awesome. All right, so that's along with the other maintenance that you already had, that's the focus for today. And the follow-up throughout the week of if it is not working, what is it that I need? Is it a cable? Is it a new KVG? Like what is it that needs to be replaced? and that is either on order or we've got a way to run that down and figure it out, so that way we can get those things up and running. Rajo? All right, I cannot underscore the importance of that enough. Okay, awesome. Hey, so I've seen quite a few comments on recently on folks going to zero, whether we're going to go to 08. So we got some part of the battalion that's working at 630, another battalion that's coming in at 08. I just let you know, like, hey, one of the big problems that we have with being able to just kind of pull the trigger on that is data, right? Is it actually working? Is it better? Are people getting more sleep? Are they like pulling that data? So what we're going to be asking here shortly is for people to give us data. All right, we want to get some wearables, and eventually that's coming down the road through 18th Airborne Corps, and we'll see how that works out. But to be able to say, hey, we're going to officially start, we're going to start working at 08. We want to be able to have some data that says, hey, look, if we start at 08, on average, our soldiers are getting 2 more hours of sleep. Their heart rates and their stress levels are down, and we can tell a lot of that based off of wearables that you all already have, right? It's a matter of eventually here, we're going to be asking for some folks to give us some data, and that's both folks that are working at 630 and folks that are coming in at 08, and we can give some comparison to say, hey, all right, look, here's some objective data that says why we think this is a better move, or quite honestly, maybe it's not, right? Like if it's not making any difference in our sleep patterns, maybe we don't go that direction. Rajo? But just to answer everyone's question, right? We're trying it out, right? We tried the FMTs out to see if they can handle the workload of 08. It appears after the first 3 weeks that workload is not a problem, that is not an issue, and so we gotta get a little bit more data, and then we'll bring it up to the boss people and figure out what the way forward is. Rajo? Okay, awesome. All right. So with that, EXO, is there anything else? Okay, so with that, we've got some recognitions that we're gonna do, and I'm gonna turn this over to Castle 6.
Hey, good morning, Tigers. Always great to be with the Tiger Battalion. You guys are kicking ass across the board, and couldn't be prouder of you. I want to foot stomp what Tiger 7 just said about JBCP. We're part of the finest, most powerful fighting force that's ever walked the face of this planet. If you find yourself out there separated, fighting in small teams, the only way you're going to bring the thunder is with comms to hire. And JBCP is one of the ways that you can reach out beyond line of sight and bring in fire support from the Army, Air Force close air support, naval gunfire, rotary wing support, whatever it is you need in your toughest hour of ground combat. So don't phone it in on the JBCP, right? Make sure it's working. If it's not working, get with the pro and figure it out, whether that's a mechanic getting the vehicle powered up, squared away, or one of your comms teams, and make sure that it works. All right, because that is the worst possible thing that can happen is, for those in combat, when you need help now, you need help now, right? And when you make that call, you depend on your teammates to be there. But if you can't get comms out, you're in a different situation. So appreciate your diligence, appreciate the focus on that, Sergeant Major, squared away. Like a lot of things we do is not glamorous, right? A lot of the stuff we do in the motor pool is not glamorous work, but it's setting conditions to win in that decisive moment. And so we want to recognize a couple of folks here that do that every day. So Sergeant Aries, come out here, please. Saw him around here.
Yes, sir.
All right, Captain Holt, Captain Bolton. All right, so transparent to a lot of folks here, you may not have known, about 2 weeks ago, our 573rd Engineer Company down at Fort Johnson, formerly Fort Polk, part of 46th Engineer Battalion, had a no-notice EDRI. They got the call. They're on a DSURF mission, and if you're not familiar with that, that's a mission to respond to domestic crisis here. If we have a nuclear device go off in the United States, they're out the door in 48 hours to go deal with that. Okay, so they got a no-notice EDRI. You got the alert, and within 36 hours, we're ready to go wheels up on C-17 with their equipment to the incident site. Right. One of the reasons they were able to do that is the professionalism of Captain Bolton, Captain Holt, who went down there as pros to help coach and teach their team through load plans, hazmat, and actually getting out the door, working with the Air Force. Again, it's not glamorous work, but it's absolutely necessary to be able to fight tonight and deploy as part of America's Contingency Corps. So we're going to recognize them. Also, Lieutenant Talon, he's not here. He's got a valid excuse. He's down at Jump Master School this morning. So we'll police him up on the back end. And then Sergeant Aries in the center. If you didn't know, he's your brigade land and ammo guy. All right, so he's the one that's fighting with Corps, working with range control, making sure that you got the resources you need to get out and train hard for your toughest day of ground combat. Okay, and he's the kind of guy, he never says no. Right? If it's late, he doesn't say no. He doesn't tell you to pound sand. He figures out a way to make it happen, because that's what we do here in the Castle Brigade. So for being a great teammate, again, it's behind the scenes, right? But it's not unappreciated, and we appreciate what you do. So with that, we're going to recognize them with some brigade points here today. Let's give them a round of applause. Any words for the Tigers? Good?
Get there.
Cool. All right. Hit it. All right, so I know we got work to do, Tigers. I'll be quick. I just want to say thank you for everything that's going on in the Tiger Battalion right now. So summertime's always our highest op-tempo time. You know, we got a number of transitions going on. Summertime moves are in full swing. So from the company level all the way down to the team level, as we were saying farewell to some teammates and welcoming new folks onto the team, I ask that you do a couple things. One, with our new teammates coming in, day one, hey, let them know they're home here in the Castle Brigade, right? Let them know they're here, they're part of the team, and how much we love and trust and respect them. Okay, bring them into the team right. No better teammate than a Castle Brigade soldier. Okay, and then two, for our folks that are leaving, hey, don't let them slip out into the night. Okay, make sure that you take the opportunity to shake their hand, look them in the eye, and tell them what you appreciate about them being your teammate for the last 2 years, 3 years, or 3 months, however long it's been. Okay, it's an incredible place to serve here. And if you don't recognize that now, trust me, you'll recognize it later on. Right? The folks that you're surrounded by to your left and your right, I'd put you up against anybody else in the Army. And incredibly proud to be on this team. I know we got a lot going on. 3 company changes of command this week. Got 161 pushing out to the field, 264 getting ready for some training coming up here at the end of the month. 57th working the special breach piece and getting ready to push out to JRTC, go kick Geronimo's ass down there. And then HHC, FSC also working ORS, and getting ready to stay on mission for another year. Okay, but the reality is, if you're on IRF, if you're not on IRF, you're a phone call away from getting ready to go. So if you don't, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Because when the call comes, it comes right here to Fort Liberty. And we know for all things engineer, they turn to the Castle Brigade. And I'm extremely proud to serve along each one of you. Just look forward to getting out there and getting after it. Any questions for me? Anything at all? Any rumors that are out there? Anything? All right, Tigers. Love being around the Tiger Battalion. You guys fight and you win, right? Consistently, right? A lot of people can talk, but the proof is in the execution. So thank you for executing and getting out there and getting after it. Sergeant Major.
Hell yeah, go make this place great. Fall back in.